Hello, I'm SupaWaluigi, and welcome back to SupaConstruction here in the Nintendo World Park. We're still over in the Bowser's Castle area. The castle is now fully complete, and it's time to start putting in some rides. It was mainly the main roller coaster that's going in here. This is going to be more of a thrilling area as opposed to the Super Mario Brothers Mushroom Kingdom area, because that's full of more gentler rides. Even though it's got go-karts, it doesn't have any roller coasters over there yet. So there might be a roller coaster heading over there because we've got some awkward areas that I think I know how to fill the gaps with. But today we are just putting in the main roller coaster for Bowser's Castle. I haven't got a name for it just yet. I don't know, Big Bad Bowser's roller coaster or something. I don't know. Of course, you guys can suggest a name for the roller coaster as well, and any other ideas for the area, because at the moment it is just this roller coaster. So it's mainly a stand-up coaster, where you are not a stand-up coaster, sorry, a floorless coaster. So the actual trains they give way at the station, and you've got no floor. You're just literally sitting in a bucket seat as you're speeding around the track. And this is probably the longest roller coaster we would have built so far. Mainly utilizing all the area below the castle in like the valley areas, which is a pretty cool idea, I think. In the previous park, on Rollercoaster Tycoon 2, we had the Rainbow Road roller coaster, which did the same sort of thing, where the station was on top of a mountain, and it didn't need any chain lifts because it could just have a drop off straight away. But you'll see later on in this build, the problem with trying to get back to a station is that all the thrill is at the beginning of the ride, and towards the end you've just got a load of chain lifts to get you back up into the station. But at the moment we are building a giant trench underneath the main entrance to the area, with a couple of inline barrel rolls to go through it, and we fix up all the terrain issues as well after we've finished the ride. As I've said before, if you've seen the building of the Skyloft, what did I call it? Flight of the Loftwings, I think it was called. That roller coaster over in the Legend of Zelda area. I'm still not great at building roller coasters, to be honest. I usually make them too big. They're not very close and compact like most roller coasters are in the real world. Instead, I just utilize a huge area, not really paying attention to how fast they go or the G-forces exerted on the guests when they're inside the roller coaster. It's kind of a science that you have to get down and try and figure out as you play the game. We're also just testing the cart to see if it can actually make its way around the track, and we make it longer and put 3 trains on as well, so there's plenty of trains for the guests to go on, so we don't get too many long queues. And as you can see here, we're just trying to figure out how to make it as compact as possible. The opening area where it drops off into the first valley, that's going to get a huge change in a moment because it's not very good and it needs to be more thrilling, kind of like this. So this is my attempt at making it more compact and twisty and turny within itself, just so that it's a bit more thrilling and it doesn't take up, well, it takes up a huge space, but it doesn't look like it's all spaced out and everything. And then this is mainly it just trying to make its way back to the station, which was a bit of a challenge. But since the last part, Nintendo and Universal have released a concept video for the real-life Super Nintendo World, which this park is sort of based on. Is kind of my vision of what it could potentially be, a Nintendo themed theme park. But the concept video doesn't really, it gives a vision of what it could be, but it's not particularly helpful because it's just a CGI video of a Mario World, I guess. There's no, from what I could see, there's not really any pictures of rides. It's mainly just theming and scenery. From what we've heard, though, they've got plans and concepts for some rides. One of which is a Donkey Kong minecart ride, actually, which we have in the park here, where it's got quite a cool system where it's got basically two tracks, one that's hidden underneath scenery and you can't really see it, and one that is what the carts that you ride in themselves is on. But the track that the carts are on, it might get a bit confusing with my explaining. The carts that the track is on, I'll try and put up a picture actually. Carts that the tracks are on, said that 3 times, is that it's not actually sitting on the track. The track itself is part of the scenery. So if you think about the Donkey Kong minecart levels, you ride along, you jump, you twist and turn, that sort of thing. But in this real life concept, the carts are attached to the wall, which has a cutout shape and basically a stick poking through that the cart is attached to. I'm making hand movements for some reason, like you can see them, but obviously I'm going mad. And so the hidden track is also connected to that stick. And as the cart on the hidden track moves along, the cart that you're actually sitting in moves along, and it can replicate movements like jumping over the track and twisting and turning, that sort of thing, which is a pretty cool idea. I don't think I've seen that idea utilised in any real park, actually, so that's quite ambitious. But something a little bit more simple that they have announced that will be in the park, I think, so it might not be an announcement at all, is that there is a Mario Kart ride, much like, I think it's like other simulator rides, such as the Amazing Spider-Man in Universal Studios, no, not Universal Studios, Islands of Adventure, where it's just like a kart that's on a predestined track, and you'll have screens, and it'll be in 3D, and there'll be movements and stuff, and it's basically a motion simulator ride for Mario Kart. But obviously we are going to have proper go-karts, and still need to make that. That's the Mario Kart, the second Mario Kart track, because obviously we have Baby Park at the moment, in which actually I turned off the music for that because it is so very annoying whilst building, and it repeats so many times that I've actually got rid of that piece of music. I don't know why I put it in the first place, because it is a very, very annoying piece of music. And it's even worse when it's sped up, because you can hear its high-pitched, sped-up, horrible music. It's just, I had to get rid of it. Oh yes, we've got 3 trains going here. It all looks very smooth. Obviously sped up. It's not going this fast, obviously, because the video is sped up by 5 times. But you can just see it just makes its way up to the top at the very end, and they'll spread each other out with queue times and everything. But yeah, that's the roller coaster built. So now we're just doing the terrain editing to smooth up all the edges, making sure that there aren't any just straight cliffs, making it look as natural as possible. We haven't got any sort of scenery in here yet. From last part, I did say that potentially the fire and the other flame effects might make the park lag more than I think it's capable of. So I might actually leave any more fire effects just for the main castle part instead, and just get some rocks and boulders and stuff down there, just to make it a bit more thrilling. And we're going to get some towers, I think I said this in the last part, from the main castle going along those edges there, just to make it look a bit more involving and cinematic, and just more scenery. Everyone likes more scenery. Makes it more engaging. Got rid of that little tunnel area. Didn't think it was necessary, so we've just got a little alcove there instead. fixing up on the other side of the valley with all the terrain edges as well. It casts a very, very big shadow from the mountains there. It might be a bit unnecessary. I like that. And then we're just checking over how it's looking. Remember that tarmac area that I've drawn out is where the Mario Kart track will go. And I think I'm just figuring out here whereabouts it will be built. Because the main idea about the Mario Kart track is that it's going to go through Mushroom Kingdom, Bowser's Castle, Luigi's Mansion, and a bit of Delfino Plaza now, since it is located right next to where the station for the go-karts will be. So it's going to be quite a long one, probably only one lap, since you're going through different areas, and it'll be so long that it won't really be worth having 2 or 3 laps on it. So, but yes, we'll come to that when we come to that. I think that's all the terrain done. We're just testing the track now, seeing how it runs, and we've got the real trains in here now. And we're just putting in the entrance and exit, I believe. Yep, well, they're already there, but we're just going to move them around. Stick in the paths and make sure that guests can get in and out easily. This was kind of a problem, because as you can see, I'm trying to use the free look camera to move around. It's a little bit janky, sped up, so hopefully it's not hurting your eyes too much. Whoa, God, went a bit mental there. We're just moving the pathway outside and moving it back in, because obviously the space here is very limited. Just trying to make use of what where I can put the pathway, making sure that we connect up easily as well. Just moving the exit there, moving the pathway round and down. You can't really see because obviously the shadows aren't great, and you can't see where the path actually is, but there is a path heading into the castle there and around the perimeter of the inside castle. Oh, as the lights are lighting up, you can just see down there how it's working. Just moving that down there. Got to do a bit of terrain editing here, because obviously we've got this problem where it messes up all the time. And I fixed those walls off screen, and we'll just see how it looks in a moment. Yeah, fixing up that. There you go. And there we go. That's the finished roller coaster, along with the finished castle as well. We're going to get some more rides in that lower courtyard area, but yeah, that's how it looks. If you've got any suggestions for a name for it, that'd be much appreciated. Any more suggestions for shops, other rides to go in the area and whatnot, that would be great as well. But yes, the park is coming along very nicely. You just see the roller coaster train in the back there going around, and we got a loop in there. It's always nice to have a loop, but we can't really see the train at the moment. But yep, that's it for now. See you in the next part. Bye.